Just when you think there might be no hope for the Zoomer generation, a young man without a full set of teeth comes in and changes your mind. And by the way, go USA against Canada. Let's get into it. Before we go too deep, my name is Casey. I'm a husband and father, and I've been a psychologist and therapist for more than a decade, which is how I know, appointment by appointment, that the American dream is wavering. And this story has given me hope. If you can get behind a future of faith, fatherhood, and freedom, I would love to hope alongside of you. Please like on the way in. I'd love to earn your subscription. All right, here's the background. USA played Canada in the Olympics finals for hockey, and the U.S. was tied going into overtime, and ultimately the winning goal was scored by Jack Hughes, who is a young American who plays for the New Jersey Devils. He's 24 years old, and he had grown up from a hockey dynasty family in which he has a couple brothers that had played, as well as his dad being the coach in Toronto. He was born in America in Florida, and he was raised largely in Toronto, Canada, which is, of course, where he would have learned how to be a hockey player. Now, this goal indicates and personifies the rivalry between Canada and the United States, which, by the way, has gotten much more heated since the Trump rhetoric has come out in the last several years. I don't know if you've noticed, but when Canada v. America hits the ice, there's a lot more punches thrown and a lot more nastiness, and I actually do appreciate seeing this kind of nationalism from Canada. I wish it weren't liberal world order nationalism, but any defense of one's own homeland is, I think, honorable, and I'm glad to see that this rivalry has a little bit of juice to it. In the post-game interview, Jack Hughes said that he is exceedingly proud to be an American, and that he's also happy that America has good dentistry, and he probably knows that from prior experience, but I guess he took a stick to the face earlier in the match, which is why he ended up, a little bit toothless at the end. And this interview is unusual for a man of his age, but I do think that the American spirit among young men is coming back, and I think this was first indicated to me by the campus frat boys that held up the flag when the Antifa terrorists were attempting to tear it down. I believe that this was at the University of North Carolina earlier before Trump was elected in 2024. I think there's lots of room for optimism that young men are looking for something to defend. And as we covered a little bit in the last few videos on this channel, young men are reporting and reverting back to church because they're looking for an anchoring in meaning and truth. And this young man, he perfectly personifies the type of hope that I would like to see in my own son and in future generations. Watch his brief interview after the Olympic win.
I'm lucky I'm from the best country in the world, and we got great dentists there too, so I'm lucky I'm American, and they're going to fix me right up.
Standing there listening to the anthem, what's going through your head?
Just so proud. I'm so proud to be American. I'm so proud of this group. I'm so happy that we could win. We have so many people here supporting us. We have so many people back home supporting us, and we're so thrilled with how this whole tournament played out, and just an unbelievable moment for USA Hockey.
I'm from the greatest country in the world, and we have great dentists there too.
I'm on the older end of the millennial spectrum, and of course that means that I grew up in the 1990s when it was pre-indicated that every American pursuit was going to be the best that any country could put forward worldwide. We believed that America was the best. I grew up in the proud to be an American generation where we had songs that indicated it, and it was just our sports and athletics were certainly the best. And I think that the failures, or when we, at least in my perspective, when we began to run into some difficulties, was in the late 90s when the drug and crime crises really started. And then we sort of got a limp-wristed approach after 2001. When the 9/11 bombings happened, we began to question our own greatness, if it ever were great, along with what exactly does it mean to be an American. Are we doing these foreign countries dirty in the way that we encounter them throughout the post-war consensus. And from that time, we began to question ourselves. And the drug crisis, in my personal experience, caused a huge amount of my generation and the younger generations to go dark. They not just dark in a spiritual sense, but also dark in so many of them being taken, their lives being taken from the drug crisis, that it ultimately led to a lot of cultural and societal questioning about whether America had what it took to be a world leader. But Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils, and more importantly, the U.S. Olympic team in this case, gives us hope.
So refreshing. And here's the little, storm cloud in this otherwise sunny sky. It's sad that this is surprising to us. And I would respectfully submit this guy's interview, there's just this guy, as a great piece of evidence about what an American is. This kind of a good attitude is distinctly American.
Even despite the crash in confidence, it is empirically evident that optimism is still an American value. And for the WASPs, the white Anglo-Protestant strivers that have always been the foundation that built this country, optimism is still a wonderful thing. And when the colonial frontiers were already all taken, we moved to the Antarctics, we moved to the moon, we are still an optimistic people, and we can still accomplish great things. Do not let the malaise that has overtaken Europe overtake you personally. Don't feed it and let it infest the lives of your children. Give them hope, because if there were hope, there would be more babies. There would hopefully be better pursuit of small business if the taxes and government wasn't taking them completely out of the running. And there would be a future where we would be proud to say that we did what we could to try to instill future generations with the same type of hope that this young man, Jack Hughes, has. And it might be easy for him to say in a way because he's an NHL hockey player and he's making a great living, I'm sure, doing that. But this could be a man who's picking up garbage off of the side of the road, cleaning toilets, or doing any other, working in a high-risk industry. This type of hope is what built America, and if we are going to rebuild America, it will be because of young men and women like this who can build hope back into the mix, one brick at a time. If you would like a future that has hope in it, I would love to be optimistic with you. Let's take this into 2027. But first, we have the 250th birthday of America. Let's go. Congrats to the U.S. Olympic team. Congrats. And I'm so sorry, America's evil top hat. Perhaps come back in 4 more years and let's see if your policy prescriptions might lead to a better outcome.